FBI working directly with Tommy Egan.
What's our next move? We stay in one step ahead at all times.
Here, you got pills to move. I got the bodies you need to move them.
Now's the time to send the Serbs a bigger message. That's the only way they ever gonna...
Chaos, hidden agendas, betrayals, and shifting alliances. That's the best way to sum up the trailer for Force Season 2, Episode 7. At the heart of the storyline is Vic, who's embedded as a CI for AUSA Stacy Marks. He has to toe the fine line of trust and deception. But does Tommy have an inkling that something doesn't quite add up about Vic? And who does he have his gun pointed towards? There's also a storm coming the Serbians' way, and that stems from Markovic's attack on the Crimson projects. It was the catalyst for this war that we're now going to see between the CBI, Insane Princes, and the Serbian network. Now, it's not just the core players who are reshaping the dynamics of Chicago's drug scene. We're about to see new alliances forming, and Shanti and Claudia seem to be coming together to make one formidable team. Their alliance adds layers of complexity, but also makes it clear that in the drug game, nothing is as it seems. So with that being said, we're going to take a deeper look at this storyline, including some clues that we have seen from the official trailer for Force Season 2, Episode 7. Now, the title of Episode 7 is Chicago is Heating Up, and the synopsis reads, Tommy and Diamond continue gaining territory behind Miguel's back, but Diamond is pulled in other directions. Jenard gets more than he bargained for, meanwhile Tommy puts Vic's loyalty to the test. Now, normally I do run through a quick short analysis of the episode title, because it does generally give us a hint at what's to come, but I think this one's self-explanatory. Chicago's heating up. We've got Stacy Marks in her office telling someone she has a CI embedded into Tommy Egan's organization, but who is she talking to? That's the question. The rest of her task force know that Vic Flynn is their CI, so I can't imagine her speaking to Bobby DeFranco, Vargas, Rodriguez, or Sang. It has to be a new player or a new member of law enforcement. So this is where I do want to take it back to a theory I created after episode 201. We put the pieces of the puzzle together in terms of the timeline, and how Force Season 2 is before the events that occurred in Season 3 of Ghost. So if Ghost Season 3 hasn't occurred yet in the Force timeline, then that means certain characters are still alive within the Force timeline. Not the Ghost timeline, the Force timeline. And that certain someone is Cooper Saxe. This is why I raised the theory of whether we could still see that shock factor of Cooper Saxe still finding out Tommy is still alive at some point, but in Chicago in Force, not Ghost. So I just thought it was the right moment to kind of touch base on that theory once again, because we don't exactly know who Stacy Marks is talking to. They've deliberately kept this a mystery. Now of course, it may not be Saxe and it may just be a new player we're being introduced to in law enforcement, so let's wait and see. But as they say, Chicago is heating up. Now moving over to Tommy and Vic, we've got Tommy telling him they need to stay one step ahead of them at all times, which you can only assume he's talking about the Serbs and also maybe law enforcement. But this is also where the test is going to come in for Vic. If Tommy has any suspicions about Vic being a CI or him working with law enforcement, then it's almost game over for Vic Flynn. So if Tommy does have any suspicions, I think he'll throw him some wrong information or maybe even have him commit a deadly act as a test of loyalty. I do think Vic was conflicted whether he really wanted to inform on Tommy or not, and that stems from him not giving Stacy Marks Tommy's phone number. This was 100% deliberate to show us Vic was still in two minds. But Stacy Marks isn't playing games, she's turning the screw. It's just how far is Vic willing to go to achieve this freedom? This could also be the ultimate test of loyalty, or to even protect his secret from being a CI. So Vic is going to have a tough decision to make in episode 7.
This territory is ours.
Dude, you got that shit all wrong.
Your brother Jenard gave it to us.
It wasn't his to give.
Tell your men to vacate.
Ain't nobody going nowhere. This our block. These are our corners.
Markovich and Tommy are now at war because of territory. The Serbs believe that the Crimson projects belong to them, and after Tommy recently moved into the north, which is directly above Markovich's territory, this ignited their war even further.
You're a pirate. You don't understand boundaries.
Boundaries are an important part of this game. If you cross them, then expect retaliation. So this war with Markovich was always going to come back around. Markovich warned him in 201, this wasn't over. But what Markovich has done by attacking the Crimson projects is, he's woken up a beast. Tommy's telling Diamond or Vic that it's time to send the Serbs a big message. That's the only way they're ever going to learn who owns this city. However, I don't think Tommy and the CBI can do this on their own. Common enemies sometimes has a way of forming the unlikeliest of alliances in this game. So I do want to take it back to a moment to the move that Tommy and Diamond made by taking Miguel's product. They successfully carried out this plan by blaming Markovich and the Serbian network. Miguel then said that he was going to make them pay, but we're yet to see them hit them back, mainly because Shay warned him against making a move. This is also a scene from the Season 2 trailer, where Miguel Garcia promises his grandmother that the Garcias are about to become the only connect in Chicago, so I wouldn't be surprised if now is the time where they come together to try and take down the Serbs once and for all. However, they do have a problem, as Shay. We were introduced to Shay in episode 2, where we learned he was the link to the cartel. Shay is the one who Miguel and Markovich both source their product from, and so if they attack Markovich, then it directly impacts their boss. Taking out the Serbs would also leave the cartel with a huge void to fill, which I'm sure wouldn't be a problem. Tommy and Diamond would gladly pick up the Serbian territory and pipeline, but that would then cause conflict with Miguel Garcia. So this issue with Markovich and the Serbs really is complex that does impact a lot of people. So let's see how this war plays out and what Tommy's next move is. Shanti overheard Claudia offering Jenard a deal to help distribute her product with a 50-50 split. Unfortunately for Claudia, he refused just like she did when the roles were reversed. But with Shanti overhearing this offer, we're going to see her approach Claudia to take her up on the deal. Claudia has the pills and Shanti has the bodies to move them. This goes back to the distro point I've been making when it comes to Claudia Flynn. She is smart when it comes to running a drug empire, she's good at numbers, she can build relationships and source product, but she does lack in the street department. That's because Walter Flynn kept her away from the street, which was Vic's position in their organization, and so she wasn't able to create these relationships which would make distributing her product a little easier. Now on Shanti's part, she's a serial winner and she's tough. She wants to make a move on the CBI, but she's also making a move with Claudia. Maybe this is a failsafe just in case the move with the CBI fails, or maybe she wants both, who knows. Shanti and Claudia could make one formidable team, and with this war brewing between the Serbs, the CBI, and maybe even the Insane Princes, this will create an opportunity for them to maybe sneak in.
Chaos creates opportunity.
So the question I'm going to pose is, how big of a threat are Shanti and Claudia Flynn, and how much damage could they cause when there is chaos brewing around them? Now, what's happening with Jenard in episode 7? Similar to what I raised with Miguel Garcia, this is also from the season 2 trailer where we're going to hear Jenard say, "Tommy, you're going to get what you deserve." So what's happened now? Well, we know Tommy and Jenard put aside their differences and shook hands on a deal to bring Jenard back into the CBI. Also how him and Shanti were cooking a more sinister plan, although I don't think Jenard is fully on board with Shanti's vision. I do think Jenard will come to his senses at some point and possibly turn on Shanti. But Jenard's drug problem, this plan to take over CBI, Shanti and Markovich are all issues which could push Jenard to the edge once again. Or it could be the total opposite. It could finally be the kick up the backside he does need. So let's see what Jay's next move is. Elsewhere in the trailer for episode 7, we've got Maria who looks like she's got a tough decision to make. And I think we'll know after episode 6, her love for Tommy is real. But the hallucination scene of Holly was telling in so many other ways. Maybe it foreshadows a future baby between them. How Maria isn't safe and maybe even not make it out of season 2. But I think the next step for her is helping Tommy against her own flesh and blood. And I think that's going to be a tough choice. However, is time ticking for Maria? And will Tommy actually come to the realization he can't live a double life? We may also see a funeral for Big C, Diamond and Jenard's father, and who knows, maybe even introduction to more Samson family. The same goes for the Flynns and a funeral for Walter Flynn. But with that being said, that's a breakdown of the trailer and what we can expect for Fall Season 2 Episode 7. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, especially on what you make of Shanti and Claudia's partnership. Could they take advantage of the chaos around them and cause a real problem for Tommy and the CBI? Drop all your thoughts down below, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.